Welcome everybody to the Fellowship Annual Members Exhibition 2019. My name is Maureen Durdak. I'm the current president of the Fellowship. I've had the great pleasure to be the president for the past almost 4 years. The end of my term will be at the end of June. It's been an honor and a great pleasure to work with this august organization, founded in 1897, one of the oldest existing and functioning arts organizations in the United States today. It's been a wonderful, wonderful trip. So I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce the new incoming president, Barbara Sawson. Barbara has some wonderful visions for the future of the fellowship, and I'm very excited to be supporting her in any way, any shape I possibly can. And I want to take this opportunity to introduce James Oliver and Brian Hoffman. James Oliver is the owner and director of the James Oliver Gallery and co-business partner with Brian Hoffman of the gallery we are presently in right now, Hotbed. Two wonderful gentlemen who's made what could have been a torturous experience, really a very pleasurable and joyous one.
I'm James Oliver of James Oliver Gallery and also of Hotbed, warehouse here in the same building at 723 Chestnut, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I was approached by the Fellowship to host, along with my business partner Brian Hoffman, their annual juried show. They asked me to curate it too. So I thought that was an honor, and I always like the challenges of curating shows, particularly one that's got a whole variety of work. We selected about 50 artists for the show. In this year's show, they had a lot of paintings, and there's about 4 or 5 sculptors. I also selected a lot of the works of how they would look in the space, how they would work together, being that there's a variety. It was a little bit of a challenge, but was definitely always up for it.
And I want to commend James on his selection of the awardees. Special recognition to all the artists that participated in this wonderful exhibition. I'm really proud of all of you. I'm very proud to have been your president, and the quality of the work here at this exhibition speaks to your stature as artists of the first rank.
My name is John Thornton, and I'm a proud member of the Fellowship. With 51 artists, I could not talk to everybody, but I think I got a pretty good assortment of interviews. I will show you every work that is in the show. I hope you enjoy.
My name is Nicole Michaud. My piece was called Dreams. It began with a lot of ideas from my childhood and from memories, then trying to abstract them in a way that showed how they get warped through time and come back at you in a different way. They mean different things as you become an adult and have different experiences. So I liked the process of abstracting those thoughts and ideas into how it's relating to the present.
Hi, I'm Colleen Hammond, talking about my piece, Afternoon with Zippy. One of several paintings I did using old family photos as a reference. My mom's many, many family photos are taken with an old Brownie camera, which of course pictures from that have an atmosphere that you don't get from any other camera. So I just love the mood of them. That's my sister in the painting. I had to do a little research on her outfit and the Zippy doll, which is a monkey doll. He was a real monkey, famous in the 1950s. And yeah.
Hi, my name is Jim Victor. My piece there, The Doctor and the Patient, that was done in the 90s, and the idea was every time I went into a doctor's office and I looked around at all their equipment, I thought, oh, isn't this cool equipment? I just love these shapes and all these tubes and everything, wires hanging down, and they were always such lovely things. I thought, you know, I'm going to do something with that. So that was the idea. The patient is the one that's got the diagram of his guts there out there because he's having the x-ray done. The one with the little tongue depressor is the doctor.
My name is Laura Marconi. The painting for this show is called Portrait. I've been going to Iceland for 7 years, staying at artists' residencies. And there were so many icebergs from Greenland, a result of global warming. So one day, the mayor of the village of Skagastrong, with the rescue team, were going to inspect one large iceberg in the bay. They asked us artists to go with them. So old and powerful and yet so fragile. I wanted to paint it as a portrait, a house, a place of worship, like a solitary giant floating away into oblivion.
Hi, I'm Holly Brigham. My painting, Santa Caterina's Trinity, was purchased by the Fellowship, and I'm excited to be in the collection. It's part of my Sacred Sisters series. There are 8 pieces that are all nuns who were artists and writers. I ended up doing an artist book from the series, and I collaborated with the poet Marilyn Nelson. I've had a couple of showings of the nuns at the Benton Museum up in Storrs, Connecticut, Penn State Lehigh Valley, and then at the Sordoni Art Gallery at Wilkes University. And I'm hoping there's to be a 4th installment at Southern Allegheny's Art Museum this fall.
Hello out there. My name is John Formicola. I've been working digitally for the past 20 years or so. The piece in the show is a recent product, an Annunciation, and I guess every Italian has to do an Annunciation in his life. But it's totally abstract, and I'm more interested in the color and the visual textures that I can achieve. Plus, there is a Gabriel, which is very hard to see, with notes floating through space towards the Mother Mary. Digital work, one does work on a computer. You start from scratch, at least I do, with a white screen, And I start drawing and eventually putting color in shapes just like I would a painting, which I had been doing for lots of years. So there's no difference in my mind. The only difference is you can change things radically and rapidly. You could also make a multiple as prints. I choose not to do that. There's only one of a kind when I do it. So to me, it's equatable with any work of art that should be unique.
Hi, I am Carol Taylor Carney. Red equals fire. Basically made out of broken windows. It's from a series called American Prayer Flag, where I made hybrids out of the American flag, Tibetan prayer flags, and portraits of children. I got a thing of broken windows. One of them had the fireman on it that inclined me to do this. I use used objects, broken glass pieces of metal, and other objects. The decals that are on there come from cars. For these, I literally burned them so that they looked even more like they belonged in a fire. I got started on this series around 2016, right before the run-up of the election. In a cynical world, we need to remember to project the future. That's what children represent for me, to move our country and ourselves forward.
My name is Gail Ferretti, and I like to explore the sculptural elements in the living world and sometimes in the throes of death. And this is a photo of a dried amaryllis flower. This was a gift by a fellow artist, Deborah Horsting, and she gave me the amaryllis, and I enjoy the beauty of it when it emerged from the bulb. And then as it was dying, I found another beauty in it. Decay has beauty in it as well.
All right, Gail, are you accusing yourself of not having a green thumb? Did you kill that poor amaryllis?
Yeah, I'm very good at that. Thank you, John.
Hi, I'm Michael Bartman, and I'm happy to be in this 2019 Fame show. I have a piece that's based on space and architecture. It does come from a space that I've seen, but I tend to also introduce things that I've seen in other places as well as make up things. And typically, I don't have one set point of view or perspective. Taking almost a traditional perspective and then working it with more of an abstract idea of the flat, planar world. I just think the last 5 years I've been using a lot more color. It's more of an emotional thing. It's not a preconceived idea. Rather than being afraid of it, I just kind of go with it.
Hi, my name is Lauren Litwa. My painting is The Night Visitor. There's something out there, up there, besides our planet. The beams of light, and then there's the fox who's the visitor, and then if you look in the dark doorway, there's a very vague figure of a man in there. So they're all kind of, in my mind, visiting. And the beams of light are positive, but also a little ominous. There's a little house burning in the background, and what caused it? Question.
I'm a painter, however, with my interest in materials, I wanted to get into ink. So I made a block print and I just went to town with the various viscosities of the ink, how ink saturated into the paper, and how I could either manipulate the paper or manipulate the ink or manipulate the process of putting the ink on the paper.
Hi, my name's Jennifer Baker.
My piece in the show is Demolition, 4th and Wallace Streets. And it's a collage on Mylar, a scene of Northern Liberties. being demolished and rebuilt and changed. If you want to see more of my paintings, I have a show coming up at the Southern Alleghenies Museum of Art in July in Loretto, Pennsylvania. I'm going to have 68 paintings in that show, including a very large piece, 18 foot wide, that I just completed.
There is a lot of wonderful work in the Fame show, but I want to end this film with one piece that I feel exemplifies the most important qualities that all of us learned from our days at the Pennsylvania Academy. I have seen Tom Mallon's masterful drawings online, but this is the first one I have encountered in person. Great skill, craftsmanship, and an abundance of imagination make Tom Mallon's Impasse a real showstopper in my eyes. The 2019 Fellowship Annual Members Exhibition will be up through May 29th at Hotbed Gallery, 723 Chestnut Street in Philadelphia.